Hi guys, it's Amy. I have had a couple of questions about my first journey as a surrogate, but instead of doing a Q&A, I thought I would just tell you guys the whole story. So I'll just jump into it. I was matched in November of 2013 with a couple that lived in Hong Kong. Yeah, I had the same reaction. Holy smokes, that's far away. But their plan the whole time was to move closer as soon as I did become pregnant. So our next move for my husband and I would be to go to CCRM in Denver for our 1 day medical workup. And during that 1 day medical workup, we do lab work and urine tests, and they do a ultrasound to make sure my uterus is healthy. I also go through a psych evaluation while I'm there. It's literally a whole day of medical workup. So it was funny too because my husband and I were like, ooh, Denver, we'll go a day early, we'll spend the day together, have fun. While living in Chicago in January, snowstorms happened. So that is indeed what happened. So we didn't get to go early, but at least we made it there on time for our medical workup. So after we get the results back that everything's good to go with our medical workup, we move on to legal. And that sometimes takes a couple of weeks to get through. But as soon as that's done, for us, I think it only took about maybe a month to get through it. We pretty much agreed on everything, so it moves quickly if that's the case. So after legal is done, CCRM wants to do a mock cycle on me, which means that I would do all medications leading up to transfer, but I don't actually go to transfer. I just do all the blood work, all the lining checks here at home locally, and then of course all the medication. And luckily everything went well with the first mock cycle. My body did exactly what it was supposed to do. So then we were on track for transferring in July of 2014. So we had about 5 months to play with for the mock cycle. And then after I get all that done, I had to have my period and then start all back over with the medication again. So we are set for transfer July 2014. And we agreed on 2 embryos. The doctors, the IPs, which are the intended parents, and myself agreed on 2 embryos that were already genetically tested, and also from an egg donor because the intended mom did not produce healthy eggs, so they had to use an egg donor. So we got to transfer in July, and everything went beautifully and great. And then 9 days later, I went for my beta testing. And my first number came back at a 242, which is a great number, but I definitely didn't think twins. I just thought singleton. Then 2 days later, it needed to double, and indeed it did. It went to 585. And then 2 days later, it jumped to 1560. So, but again, I really wasn't thinking twins because my other surrogate sisters had like super high numbers in the thousands for their first numbers for twins. So I was not thinking twins. So then next they scheduled my 6-week ultrasound appointment, and indeed it was twins. I did not expect that at all, but it was twins. So that was exciting. I really wanted to carry twins. I have never done that before, so I really wanted to do this. So I immediately called my OBGYN just to let her know that I was pregnant. I've got a really good record with her. I've been seeing her for almost 10 years, and I love her to pieces. And she delivered our 4th child. So we have a good communication. So I called her to tell her everything I was doing and to see if she would indeed see me as soon as I was released from the clinic in Denver. And she was on board with everything, so excited for me and for the intended parents. So I went to schedule my appointment with her. And I also had to schedule an appointment with a high-risk doctor. Now, luckily, my OBGYN clinic is in the same building as the high-risk doctor, so I didn't have to travel far because I had a lot of appointments with her and then a lot of appointments with him as well. I feel like as soon as I knew it was twins, the nausea hit. I was extremely sick for 12 whole weeks. Like, it was rough. I was puking all day, all night. It was really bad. The only thing I could keep down that really helped was ginger chews and lemon drops. Those things were my lifesavers. Like regular crackers and just plain noodles and things did not work. It was just ginger candies and the lemon drops. I would eat. I felt like I was starving a lot. So I would eat, but then it would just come right back up. But after the 12 weeks, I was fine. Like, I was tired. Still through the whole thing, I was extremely tired. But as soon as I was done being sick, I felt so relieved and so much better. Around 9 or 10 weeks, the intended parents called with the genders of the babies because they had already had them genetically tested, they knew, but CCRM wanted to wait till I was a couple of weeks pregnant to reveal those genders. I'm not sure the specifics on why they do that. I think it's just so you don't get your heart broken knowing that, oh, it was a girl, it was a boy, and then you lose the baby. So I think that would be why, but I'm not actually sure why. So around 9 or 10 weeks, we did find out it was 2 girls, and I'm like, that's why I've been so sick. I had 1 boy and 3 girls of my own, and my 3 girls, oh my goodness, I was so sick. But yeah, so I figured it's 2 girls, and that's why I was so sick. Around 9 or 10 weeks, I also get to wean off my medication from CCRM, which is really nice because once you're off all that medication and you get to go to your own OBGYN, you finally feel like a normal pregnant person. So that was exciting for me to come off all the medication and start only going to my clinic. So that was exciting for me to start going to see my OBGYN. So I saw her and the high-risk doctor, and on all appointments, everything looked great. The babies were developing normally and healthy, and everything was going good with my body, and I was just still extremely tired, but at least the pregnancy was going well. My blood pressure was always good. Normal pregnancy symptoms, but nothing like out of the ordinary. So I felt very healthy as being pregnant with twins. I felt very healthy. However, at about 20 weeks, I feel like it got a little bit rougher for me. My feet and my ankles were so swollen, and my kids made fun of me. They always said I looked like I had baked potato feet. But anyway, I also started using a body pillow. It's this huge U-shaped pillow that I would just wrap myself all up in, and that really helped me. I felt like my stomach was very heavy, and so I also got a belly band, which would help just wrap it around you, and it helps lift everything up, and that felt really, really good. I think those 2 things really helped me a lot. For the swelling in my feet, I just feel like I just sat down a lot and propped my feet up quite a bit. Luckily, I do work from home, so I'm able to sit when I need to sit down and prop my feet up, and I just kept hydrated. I kept lots of water in me. So as far as cravings went for this pregnancy, it was a little strange. I craved ice. My husband was quite bummed because with our other children, I craved fun stuff like ice cream, and we'd have, ice cream parties, and it was fun. But this time around it was ice, so he was not interested in sharing those moments with me. And it was strange too because it was a particular ice. We have a fast food restaurant here called Sonic, and it was like little tiny pellets, almost like circle little pellets of ice. And oh my gosh, they were so crunchable. I would have huge glasses of them. My husband would actually go to the restaurant and buy these 5-pound bags of ice for me. And I would just sit with big cups of ice all day long, just chomping. My kids would always be like, stop chomping ice. But it was so good. So as far as weight gain for this pregnancy, my OBGYN told me I could gain up to 50 pounds and that would still be considered healthy. And I was like, no, I won't gain 50 pounds. No, not me. I gained 42 pounds. And so those cravings definitely kicked in after the nausea went away. So I ended up weighing 182 when I delivered the girls, and I still feel that was healthy and I wasn't overweight or anything. So our C-section was scheduled for March the 5th, and that would have put me at 38 weeks pregnant. And that's something that we talked about during the match meeting, is I really wanted to have a C-section. Our 4th child was breech and had to have a C-section with her. And I just thought that having a C-section instead of a VBAC would be a better way for them to possibly make it here in time. They ended up moving from Hong Kong to Atlanta, Georgia, but that was still a few states away from us, and I really didn't want them to miss the birth. And so I thought a C-section would ensure them being able to be here. So on February 5th, I had a routine checkup appointment. And so I told my husband, we had daycare that day, and I told my husband, I'll be right back. I'll be real quick like I usually am. He's like, okay, sure, no problem. Just pick me up a sub on the way home. I'm like, sure, okay. So I get there to my appointment. The doctor hooks me up on for the fetal monitoring system, which it's just a belt that goes across my belly that hooks up, and you can monitor and see contractions or anything going on with the baby. I thought nothing of it. So she hooked me up, and she said, Amy, you're having contractions. And I said, yeah, I know, but it's just Braxton Hicks. They're not the real thing, and not a big deal. And she said they're 1 minute apart. And I said, yeah, it's okay. She's like, are you feeling these? And I said, yeah, I feel them. Actually, they hurt quite a bit. Usually I have to sit down, like breathe through it. And she's like, Amy, you're in labor. And I said, no, I'm not. You would think after having 4 kids of my own that I would know what labor felt like. Yeah, I had no idea. So she's like, I can't let you go home. I need to send you up to the labor and delivery floor, have them monitor you there and things like that. And I said, okay, let me call my husband and let him know. So I called to let him know that he would not be getting his sandwich right away, and that they wanted to monitor me because I was having contractions 1 minute apart. And so he said, okay, no problem. So they took me upstairs and got me hooked up to machines up there, started an IV, and they actually checked me and I was 2 centimeters dilated already. And so it was definitely happening. I just hadn't put it together in my mind that I was actually going to have these girls today. So they gave me medication to stop my contractions, and lo and behold, I was allergic to it. So my whole body turned red like a lobster. So they had to give me medication to reverse that medicine, and they opted not to give me any more medicine to try to stop them. They were just going to have me deliver them that evening. So I just said, can we please wait until 6 o'clock when we're done with daycare and my husband can get here and be here with me? And she said, yeah, sure, no problem. So we called the intended parents to let them know we were having the babies today. And unfortunately, they didn't make it. So they couldn't find a flight to get here soon enough. So they ended up driving in. They brought some baby equipment with them and things like that because they had planned on staying in a local hotel for a few days after the babies were born. So a little after 6, my husband shows up, and we were literally waiting on him. I was already prepped and ready. They were waiting for him to throw his scrubs on and then get me back there to deliver these babies. So everything went well, was really fast and easy and uncomplicated, thankfully. And the babies were born. I heard them crying. They each weighed 4 pounds, which is really healthy for being as early as they were. And as my OB is sewing me up, she's like, are you going to do this again? And I was like, yeah. My husband yells out, just throw a zipper down there. So it's pretty funny. But I went back to recovery, and we were, texting back and forth with the parents. And the whole time during delivery, my husband was super awesome. He was taking a ton of pictures and then texting them over to the intended parents, which I can only imagine their emotions were just going wild because they were literally driving and getting pictures of their babies at the same time. So crazy evening. So the next day, the intended parents got there, and they went straight to the NICU to see their babies as they should. And I wish I could have been back there with them, but that was a very special moment for them. And I was laid up with stitches, so I couldn't walk back there. So that was pretty much the end of the journey as far as the delivery and everything. And I feel so great and excited for this family. And, now looking back, a year and a half now, the girls are walking and talking, and it's just such a special thing, that I'm able to do this and help complete their family. And I'm so excited now to be on my second journey and help another family. And I'm excited for what's to come with this journey, and excited to get a new transfer date and get going again with all that. So I think that's all for now, but thank you so much for watching my videos and following me on this journey. And I know I say that in all my videos, but I truly mean it. It means a lot to me to know that you guys are out there supporting me and sending good vibes my way. And if you have any questions about this video or surrogacy in general, go ahead and list them below, and I'll do another Q&A pretty soon for you guys. Again, thank you for everything. Please like and subscribe the videos. And we'll talk soon. Thanks so much.